I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today, the Arakwal people of the Bundjalung Nation, and pay my respects to the elders past, present, and emerging. Are you ready to win at the game of life? Well, throw out that rulebook and get down to the business of being the best and most authentic version of you. Welcome to the Human Design Podcast. We're changing the rules around success, abundance, purpose, love, and life, where we're creating a planet where everyone can thrive in a world that loves and supports each other. I'm your host, Emma Dunwoody, a qualified master coach, human design expert, podcaster, and entrepreneur that is living the life of my dreams, breaking all the rules while doing it, making a huge impact, and living my design and manifesting miracles on the daily. Join me as I break down and simplify everything you need to live in alignment with your human design, teach you how to recondition your unconscious mind for greatness, and to take back your power so you can manifest your heaven on earth and serve the rest of the planet at the same time. It's time to give up the fear and step into your highest potential, to reach for the stars, to know and live your greatness. It's what you deserve, and it's what the planet really needs from you. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. I was first introduced to the Analemma when listening to Luke's Stories podcast, and it absolutely blew my mind. I mean, I understand the importance of water on our health and well-being, but I didn't realize the huge impact drinking coherent water has on our energy, vitality, and longevity. The physical state of water plays such a key role in our biology of life. Did you know that water is the conduit communicating between life, i.e. our bodies, the sun, the earth, and the quantum field? And the more coherent the water, the better the communication. And unfortunately, most of the water that we drink these days has been changed from its natural coherent state through this process of modern water systems and treatments. The Analemma is a tool that enhances the quality of our drinking water by transforming it into coherent, liquid crystalline state, a groundbreaking technology with scientifically proven benefits. I first experienced the Analemma last year after hearing the incredible benefits they had discovered from their 13 plus years of research. These were including things like improved skin, increased energy, balancing the gut microbiome, and research even shows that the Analemma water reduces your biological age after drinking it for just 3 months. I mean, look, I've been drinking it now for nearly 2 years and look at me. But seriously, I take this little device, the Analemma, everywhere I go because it makes water or any liquid I'm drinking coherent, so my body can get the most goodness out of it, and honestly, so it can also detox all the not so great stuff in the water that I'm drinking more easily. So if you want to hear my first-hand line 3 experiences of the Analemma on my body, and you want to hear more of their powerful research, then feel free to tune into episode 231 of this podcast. Otherwise, if you're just ready to go out and grab one, follow the links in the show notes and make sure you use my unique code when at the checkout. Enjoy. Hey, everyone, and welcome to today's episode. Well, today I am pumped, like always, to share a topic with you that I've seen kind of show up in my DMs recently that I think is a powerful topic for me to share some insights on, especially for our non-sacral friends. Okay, so our manifestors, our projectors, our reflectors. But as I do this, it's also going to really support generators and manifesting generators. So stick around. Don't worry, there's going to be plenty for everyone. Hey, quick question. Before I dive in, are you registered? Are you coming to my masterclass tomorrow? It's all about getting paid to be you. And in case you hadn't noticed, I'm talking a lot more about business here on the podcast. Inside HDX, I'm teaching a whole series on business. We're talking about startup at the moment. And pretty much anywhere, we've got the Authentic Success Club now, which is our monthly club. Come and join me for 45 minutes and dive into success, business, and human design. And the reason why I love business so much is because business actually not only helps us grow and evolve, which, as we learned on the podcast a few episodes ago with Dr. Jude Caravan, that we live in this sentient universe. We now know that the universe itself is meaning driven and purpose driven. And when we ask, like, what specifically is the purpose of the universe, it is to evolve. So if we are the universe, these tiny subatomic particles that make us and our cells that create this human, this meat suit, our consciousness, our soul, all the parts of us, we are all part of this one universe. Then our ultimate purpose in life is to evolve. So I love that because, part of my superpower, I have the core talent in the 43. It's all about simplification. And I just loved really learning this with Jude because I felt so like I could ground into everything that's going on. My goal as a human being is evolution. Okay. So as a manifesting generator, and really as any human, this is about getting out of your comfort zone and becoming a greater version of yourself, or knowing your potential and stepping into it, or accessing what I call your greatness that lies within and actually making that manifest. So one of the really powerful ways that we can do this, that we can evolve, is our business. Our business is such a, dramatic. No, that's not a great word. It is such a, birth of fire to really discover who we are, what we're made of, and why we're here, to answer the big questions in our own life, to access our personal and spiritual development journey in the most profound way. Because our business is going to trigger everything within us that is born from shadow, is born from fear, is in our conditioning. Like, all of this is going to show up in our business. And if business is really something that is in our heart, like it has been in my heart ever since I was tiny, I always knew that I would be an entrepreneur. And even if you didn't know from being a young child, that doesn't mean that you're not. You'll just know that this is the thing for you. Then being an entrepreneur, growing, evolving, really discovering what's within you, and then giving that to the world is going to be such an important journey for you to become the most authentic, healed, loving, service-driven individual. And that, to me, sounds freaking exciting. So, in this journey, obviously, you're here listening to the Human Design podcast, so a lot of what I want to share with you is really overlapping our personal development, our business development, and of course, our human design. Because if I've learned one thing since 2018, that is that when I stop outsourcing what is correct for me, what lights me up, where my answers are, who's the expert, when I stop outsourcing my authority and bring that back into me, literally via my human design authority, via knowing my design, experimenting with my design on the daily, then I know that being the most authentic version of me has allowed me to break all the rules of business and create a business that, honestly, it doesn't feel like a business. It feels like I get to show up and serve every day. And I'm going to say this because it used to really, I don't know if the word is bother me, but it would make me twitch every time people would bang on about service, like you have to be. And one of my mentors was so like, to succeed, you have to be primarily service driven. It has to be all about serving the other. And at the time, I can remember thinking, I freaking love helping other people. But so much of my journey has been birthed out of my personal experience. Now, once I have this personal experience, I'm driven to serve because I want to share everything that I've learned. And little did I know at the time what I was feeling was my personal profile expressing, because it's about my journey first. So if you're hearing me talk about this, the importance of service, the importance of giving, the importance of helping others, and there's some part of you that's kind of like, I don't know why, but that feels a bit, out of alignment, or, I don't resonate with that, or I'm resisting it, then it's probably because you are this personal profile that has to have your journey first. And then on some level, you want to run screaming to others and help others with it. So this is just a simple example of how our human design and understanding our human design really answers big business questions. A large part of my business, because I'm a personal profile, is very much about having my experience and then sharing my experience. Okay, so line 3, have an experience. Then my line 5 wants to universalize all the things that I've learned. For example, I'm going through a lot of relationship stuff at the moment, as many of you know. So next year I will teach a lot of relationship stuff inside HDX. Right now I'm teaching a lot of business stuff because we've been working on this business. I've been working on this business since 2018. And then, when Taylor came along, the two of us have been working on this business for a long time. So we're now really ready to help you guys with business. This line 3 has experimented and worked out what doesn't work. And my line 5 has got all the practical solutions. So what I actually want to focus on today is I want to talk about the difference between being a sacral being in business and a non-sacral being in business. There's a lot of talk out there in the human design world that, a lot of people really talk to projectors, but we have to stop just focusing on projectors because it's all the non-sacral beings, okay? So the manifestor, the projector, and the reflector, how they are somehow worse off because they live in a generator world. Now, I find this presupposition actually very disempowering. That basically, if you don't have a defined sacral, if you don't have that sacral energy to work, then basically you're just a little bit fucked. And I just don't believe that that's true at all. We can look at someone like Barack Obama. Somehow he managed to run America for an extended period of time. So he wouldn't believe or invest any energy in that belief system, would he? He has proven that to be wrong. And the truth is that if we looked at his day and his team and his support network versus, one of the manifesting generator presidents, then we would probably see the difference in how they manage their energy as plain as day. But a lot of the time, what are we doing? We're making up our minds. We're making up assumptions from this place of outward looking in, thinking that we know what's going on in people's lives, where really it's just our perception. And honestly, most often we don't know what's going on. So today I want to talk about this fundamental energy piece in business. At the moment, it's quite interesting because I'm working with 3 private clients, which is what I usually do. I usually work with maybe 3, maybe 2. I don't like to have too many clients at once because even though I'm a manifesting generator and I have a lot of energy, I also need a lot of energy for learning. My 16 loves to learn and master and get really good at things. I love to have a lot of space to play and to experiment and all of those things so that I can be the best coach I can be for my clients. Now, what's really interesting is we are focused on business with all 3 of these clients. One's a manifestor, one's a projector, and one's a manifesting generator. And although there's kind of like a similar model that I'm following in the beginning, it's beautiful watching the nuances of the different types and how specifically we kind of focus on their business. And I want to give you an example. So my manifesting generator, I'm like, you need a lot of freedom. You need to be able to sort of go out, learn something, implement it, skip steps, have a lot of freedom. The manifesting generator has a lot of freedom and has a lot of energy to try out all the different things, to do a bit of this over here and a bit of this over there and see how those 2 things might fit together. They have a lot of energy to actually be able to make the most of all the freedom that they get to experiment, to try things out. Now, when we start to build the structures with a manifesting generator and even a generator to a degree, Manifestors also need freedom, like the manifesting generator. But with the manifesting generators, and in my business, the structure kind of came after the experimentation. And yes, I'm also a line 3. So once I kind of experimented to work out what worked, then I started to put the structures in place. Then I started to put even more boundaries in place on my energy. Then I started to support myself as well as the business with a bigger support network inside of the business. Now, the thing with generators, for example, they're the same. They want to have the ability to really spend a lot of time playing with the thing that lights them up. Now, they're going to be a little bit more linear. In most cases, depends on your gates and the nuances of your chart, but they're going to be a little bit more linear. And I've kind of found that generators, in my experience, and this doesn't necessarily have to be true for you, so if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, get rid of it, is that generators kind of like the planning. They like the pathway. They like okay, this is my goal and this is my 30-day plan or my 90-day plan to get there. It's not to say that MGs don't, but they kind of want to have the experiment, make the mess up front, work out what works, and then they're going to build more structure later on. Where sometimes the generators are going to get more into the stuff that they love, build a structure, work towards this more linear kind of process. Now, one of the things that I've noticed with, and it started with my projector client, like straight away I said to her, well, what's going to be super important for you is that you have to automate as much as you can from the word go, because your energy doesn't allow for you to be trying out all the things or to be really diving into the things that light you up and spending a lot of time there doing that work. So we have to be conscious at the outset of really being aware that how her energy works. And it's the same for my manifestor. It was beautiful listening to my manifestor client because she was very much talking about, when I'm on. And I'm like, I know I'm going to get done. And it's easy. It's so simple. Basically, she was talking about the manifestor creative urge, right? When the energy's there, she's an unstoppable force. But letting herself have that downtime, having freedom within the business so that she can follow the urge when she needs to and follow the inspiration and pivot, but also have things in the business over time that the structures that are going to support her to keep doing that, things like making sure there's a team to continue on whatever she initiates. And there's other parts of her chart that have really helped us to informed us on how specifically to do that. And then our projectors, I'm very aware, and for many of you in HDX, you guys know about this because I've been on a rant about it, but I've been experimenting a lot with AI. I have this theory that at first I was very standoffish. At first I was kind of like taking in all the masculine, patriarchal, old-fashioned, like it's going to destroy the world, watch out, here comes the Terminator crap. And then it dawned on me that if AI is modeling human evolution, then I have a responsibility to model high consciousness, love, kindness, all of these things that when I use AI, I make sure I model, because that's the AI that I want to evolve. I want to evolve one that's kind and supportive and loving and thinks in the way that I think. So anyone out there who's taking their foot off the accelerator with AI, let me be very clear. If you are in business, you're going to get left behind if you don't get on AI. The things that we have generated from AI, and I'm going to talk a lot more about this in HDX, but we've already had a specialist come in and talk about it. We're already experimenting with it in HDX. I'm going to teach a whole thing on it. Taylor's going to come and show how we use it. But let me be clear, you want to get on it. And you want to take it as a responsibility to contribute to this learning that the AI is doing. Please contribute a loving, kind, high consciousness being, okay? Because the more of us that contribute to the AI that way, the more the AI will learn and grow and evolve in that way. So rant over, please check it out. So for my projector client, what I'm really aware of is that she's going to have energy to study the things that she loves. And this particular projector, because of her specifics in her design, she loves to learn a lot of different modalities. She loves to bring in a lot of different modalities. So she needs a time and space to study and play with those. And working in the business or on the business, from the get-go, we want to make sure as many things can be automated for her. And it might be as simple as setting up a calendar. It might be as simple as making sure you've got your email list all sorted. Those simple little things that at the get-go you want to have automated, because the energy that she has to focus in and on the business isn't as wide open as my MG client. So I would encourage all of you out there that are in business, or anyone who's in their career, really just start at this type level for you and understand, well, how is my energy best designed to thrive in my career, in the work that I do? Do I need freedom to be out there? Do I need freedom to experiment? Do I actually need to have, a structure to move in from the get-go? Do I need to automate? Do I need to put boundaries around the time that I spend in and on the business? Am I actually paying attention to burnout signs or functional burnout signs? Really starting at this high type level is going to be incredibly important when starting your business. It's important anywhere in your business, but don't leave it till you've already burnt out once or twice, because, that's what I did. I burnt out a lot of times before I came to human design, but I did burn out once after I came to human design out of, I swear, sheer excitement. So for my sacral beings, for my manifestors, in fact, I'm going to start at the beginning. Manifestors out there listening, in your career, do you have the freedom to follow your creative urge and then rest? Do you have the freedom to initiate and then have a team that can support you to continue whatever you initiate? If you don't, do something about it. For my generators, are you giving yourself the ability to follow what lights you up and then build structures, planning, goals, a pathway that you can practice this thing, learn more about this thing, grow and build this thing that lights you up? Manifesting generators, do you have the freedom to experiment, to try things out? And then are you putting the structures, the pathway in place to build this thing? Projectors, are you conscious that your energy when it comes to working on the business or in the business is, I don't want to use the word minimal, but it is reduced compared to a lot of your friends, family, colleagues? So are you consciously finding ways to automate now? And then for my reflector friends, being consciously aware that you also need to be automating. However, it's almost like you have the expanse of all of them. You also need the freedom and the time to experience the people, the places, and the opportunities. So do you have the freedom to try all these things on? Are you giving yourself the permission in your business to go at a slower pace so that you can build the clarity within the body that, yes, this is the thing that I want to pursue. This is the thing that I want to spend my energy on. And are you making sure that you have boundaries around downtime, around recharging those batteries? All right. So I trust that you got what you needed from today's episode. I just want to say a huge thank you for you being here. And I so look forward to having you on the next episode. Bye for now. Thanks everyone for being here all the way to the end of the podcast. I hope you got lots of value out of it. I certainly had a lot of fun doing it. Could I please ask that you share this podcast with friends if you found it valuable? And also, bonus points, could you leave a review for me as well on Apple? It would be greatly appreciated. If at any point you would like to be on the podcast, or you've got questions that you'd like me to discuss on the podcast, by all means get on my socials and DM me. Everything you need is there in the show notes. Have an awesome day. Bye for now.